Hello everyone! Welcome to Untold History, the channel where we explore the lesser-known and most impactful historical events. Today we will delve into the Balkan Wars, which took place between 1991 and 2001. This conflict not only reshaped the map of the Balkans, but also left a deep mark on Europe's contemporary history. This war was a series of armed conflicts that broke out after the dissolution of Yugoslavia, a multi-ethnic federation created after World War II, composed of 6 republics: Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Macedonia, and Serbia. For more than 40 years, the country remained united under the leadership of Josip Broz Tito, who managed to keep ethnic and nationalist tensions under control thanks to charismatic leadership and authoritarian rule. However, the latter's death left a power vacuum, and historical tensions which had been latent for decades began to resurface. In the late 1980s, with the collapse of communist regimes in Eastern Europe, nationalist sentiments began to gain strength in the Yugoslav republics. In Slovenia and Croatia, independence movements emerged led by figures such as Milan Kukan and Franjo Tudman, who demanded greater freedoms and eventually independence for their republics. In Serbia, Slobodan Milosevic rose to power with a nationalist discourse advocating maintaining the unity of Yugoslavia but under Serbian hegemony. This conflict of interests between the republics led to the beginning of the fragmentation of Yugoslavia. The first conflict was the Slovenia War in 1991. Slovenia declared its independence on June 25, 1991. Which led to a brief 10-day war between Slovenian forces and the Yugoslav People's Army, JNA. Slovenian resistance, coupled with Serbia's lack of interest in maintaining control over Slovenia, resulted in a quick peace settlement and recognition of Slovenia's independence. However, the situation in Croatia was much more complicated. Declared independence in 1991, but the Serbian community within Croatia was fiercely opposed. This sparked the Croatia War, a conflict characterized by intense fighting and brutal ethnic cleansing campaigns in disputed territories. Cities like Vukovar became symbols of violence and destruction. During the conflict, both Croats and Serbs committed serious abuses against the civilian population. The war ended in 1995 with Operation Storm, in which Croatian forces recaptured much of the territories occupied by the Serbs. The Dayton Accords, signed that same year, formalized peace and established new borders, although they did not resolve all ethnic tensions. The most devastating conflict was the Bosnian War, which took place between 1992 and 1995. Bosnia and Herzegovina was a multi-ethnic republic with a population composed mainly of Bosnian Muslims, Serbs, and Croats. When Bosnia declared independence in 1992, the situation became chaotic. The Bosnian Serbs, supported by Serbia and the JNA, opposed independence and began a campaign to create a greater Serbia that included Bosnian territories. On the other hand, the Croats also had their own territorial ambitions, which turned the conflict into a war of all against all. The Siege of Sarajevo, which lasted almost 4 years, is one of the most emblematic and tragic episodes of the war. Bosnian Serb forces, led by Radovan Karadzic and General Ratko Mladic, subjected the city to a brutal siege, indiscriminately shelling the civilian population and causing thousands of deaths. Another grim episode was the Srebrenica genocide in July 1995, where more than 8,000 Bosnian Muslims were killed by Bosnian Serb forces. This genocide was the worst crime on European soil since World War II and shocked the international community. This conflict ended with the Dayton Accords in December 1995. The agreement created a complex political structure in Bosnia and Herzegovina, dividing it into 2 entities: the Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina, controlled by Bosniaks and Croats, and the Serb-dominated Republika Srpska. Although a ceasefire was established, peace was fragile and the wounds of the war remain open to this day. The next conflict was the Kosovo War between 1998 and 1999. Kosovo, a province of Serbia with an Albanian majority, had been seeking more autonomy or even independence for years. Tensions boiled over when the Kosovo Liberation Army (KLA) launched an insurgency against the Serbian government, leading to a brutal crackdown by Serbian forces, again led by Milosevic. The situation in Kosovo attracted the attention of the international community, and in March 1999, NATO intervened by launching a bombing campaign on Serbian targets in both Kosovo and Serbia. This 78-day intervention forced Serbia to accept an agreement that involved the withdrawal of its forces from Kosovo and the establishment of a UN interim administration in the region. Although Kosovo declared independence in 2008, Serbia and several other countries do not recognize its sovereignty. The last significant conflict in the region was the insurgency in Macedonia in 2001. The struggle pitted the Macedonian government against the National Liberation Army (NLA), an Albanian insurgent group demanding greater rights and autonomy for the Albanian community in Macedonia. Although the conflict was smaller in scale compared to previous ones, it caused great concern due to the risk of a new war in the Balkans. Conflict was quickly resolved with the signing of the Ohrid Agreement. In total, the Balkans Wars left more than 100,000 dead, millions displaced, and a region devastated both economically and socially. Conflicts also led to a humanitarian crisis of great magnitude, with countless cases of ethnic cleansing, war crimes, and human rights violations. The scars of war are still visible in the countries of the former Yugoslavia, where ethnic tensions still persist and stability remains fragile. The role of the international community in resolving conflicts was key, although it was also the subject of criticism. The UN was accused of ineffectiveness in its initial intervention, especially in Bosnia, where its failure to prevent the Srebrenica genocide remained a stain on its record. After the end of the conflicts, the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia was established in The Hague, with the aim of trying those responsible for war crimes. Figures such as Milosevic, Karadzic, and Mladic were brought to justice, although the judicial processes were long and difficult. Today, the countries of the former Yugoslavia have followed different paths. Slovenia and Croatia have joined the European Union, while Serbia, Bosnia, and Macedonia continue to face economic, political, and social challenges. Kosovo, although recognized by many countries, remains a source of tension in international relations. Despite progress towards peace and stability, the region remains scarred by the wounds of the past. If you liked the video, please leave your comments and share it with your friends. To discover more stories, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Thank you for joining us. Until next time.